Space presents a product of boredom, a product of nothingness.
Anything you want me to be.
Welcome to Anything You Want Me to Be Radio, a product of Unknown Space. The show you're tuned into right now was put together by students and staff enrolled in the broadcasting courses in the radio television department at San Joaquin Delta College. Thank you for listening and supporting college radio. So, today it's going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be Tom conducting the interview. It's going to be me, Alex, or Quantum Dreams, or whatever you want to call me. Basically, for one of my classes, I had to do a gratitude interview, and I decided to pick Tom because I'm very grateful for the things he's allowed me to do and the platform that he's given me. Although this is the same structure as an interview, when conducting the interview, it kind of felt more of like a conversation between two friends, because that's what we are. We are friends, and then we're also, collaborators and content creators. So I wanted to take kind of a step back and kind of do this interview from an outside view, despite us talking like we're two friends. Hello. My name is Alex, and I'm here with Tom Organda, creator of Unknown Space. It's kind of hard to say what Unknown Space really is. It's kind of like a multimedia outlet, if you will, as well as an art collective. And I use the term art very vaguely because there's so much variety that is packed into the Unknown Space name. So, I guess my first question for you, Tom, is how would you describe Unknown Space to someone who's never heard of you and what you do?
Unknown Space to somebody who's never heard of me and what I do? First and foremost, because it is like really vague. I like the term art collective. That's cool. Even though, as it stands currently, it's not very much a collective as much as it is just you and I. Aspiring to be a collective. It's also an alias in which I create under. And Unknown Space is currently, at this point in time, we've got, how do I say? It's a hard question. How do I explain it to somebody who's never... I would just say an art project currently. It's see, everything I want it to be, it's currently not yet. So it's aspiring to be so much things. So this question would have probably a deeper answer if you ask me in, 2 years, hopefully a year. But at this point in time, it's an art project I create under, and art itself, again, like you said, kind of vague, because I can do anything under it. I do radio shows under it, little film projects, poetry, sound collages, sound in general. It's whatever I want it to be, but eventually I want it to be whatever anybody wants it to be, really.
Is that kind of like the inspiration for Anything You Want Me to Be Radio? Is that kind of like the start of that?
Yeah, because I don't know, when it comes to art, I don't know, because I guess I started off as a film kid, and film is kind of awesome, of course, but annoying to me. At least people take themselves too seriously in that genre of in that category of art, I suppose. So Anything You Want Me to Be is kind of just even though it's not film, it's a radio show. It's kind of supposed to mock other radio shows. Even myself with like Unknown Space Radio, it's kind of because you don't have to be something specific, I guess. I think that's what people that's how people take themselves too serious, is when they try to corner themselves to be something that I don't know, that they want to be really bad. Anything You Want Me to Be is really just fun. I mean, I'm going to take it serious because at the same time, I'm interviewing people that I'm passionate about their work in there, but it's really just fun. Let's not take myself. Because, I mean, Unknown Space Radio, you know, that was some serious topics, you know? So anything you want me to be, it's not like a parody of myself, but it's a parody of myself. It's whatever I want to do. It's fun. Let's not take myself seriously for 30 minutes. Let me talk to somebody. I mean, there's literally episodes where it's just, we have a task cam, my friends and I, and we're just hanging out. We kind of just recorded our conversations in a hangout, and it's super childish, really. And that's kind of fun. Naive art is fun.
So, as some of you may know, and as Tom mentioned as well, Tom and I kind of built Unknown Space together about 2 years ago, 2018.
What?
But I like...
Was it 2018?
It's 2018, yeah, because we had that first class, and I think...
Oh, yeah, sure. I guess you could...
No. It was... We had our first class in 2018, but that was RTV1.
Oh, yeah.
But no, we actually started building it in 2019, because it was spring semester when we...
Met.
Yeah, when we did RTV 11 and did the radio show, or the what did we call it? 3 sides or something like that?
Yeah, 3 sides. That'll be vaulted forever.
That'll be vaulted forever. No one's ever going to hear that.
I think on our
But anyways,
deathbeds is probably the right time to release it.
Just tell someone, like, give it to like someone who's trusted in a little flash drive and it only has that on there, and be like, before we die, upload this to YouTube, to the channel.
Yeah, for sure. If people still care by then yeah, hopefully.
But I honestly have to give it to Tom, that Tom is the backbone of Unknown Space Radio from all the projects that we've done. And you and I have discussed it before, that Unknown Space has a history. And it has a history even before you and I met and started talking. So I guess what I'm asking you is to dive into a little bit more of what was Unknown Space Radio, or maybe even the idea of it before it became what you and I started doing.
So Unknown Space is before what we're doing now. I mean, I've always wanted to create. That's the first thing I fell in love with, just art, I guess, and the creation of it, because I guess I grew up a creative child. Yeah, it starts off when I'm very young. Not that I've had an idea of Unknown Space back then, but I always wanted to do something creative. I think it started off with drawings, eventually became writing comic books. Realized I couldn't really draw, so I moved on from that, as one does. I wanted to be an author, which I still like writing. I think that's probably where it really starts, at least my my vision, I guess. It starts when I start writing, like creating stories, creating characters, creating plots and stuff like that. But eventually led into film, and I guess throughout all of high school, I wanted to be a filmmaker. So I'd write scripts a lot, and I luckily had the chance to work on I luckily had some classes in high school that were film projects. So I got to make a lot of film projects in high school, but they were all mainly like Shakespeare or like based off books, which is cool because I still did my own thing if you like were to watch them, which you could. I think they're on the internet somewhere. But where it really, really, really starts is a film project in high school, which we were reading Beowulf, which I guess is probably about like monsters or whatever. I would know if I didn't fall asleep while reading it. But yeah, the assignment was create your own monster, and you could use any medium you want. And yeah, I chose film. I was the only one that picked a film assignment, which I guess that's understandable because that's like extra work. But that project was called Unknown Space, and that is also somewhere on the internet. Yeah, that's where I kind of really dived into. That would be the thesis, I suppose, for Unknown Space moving forward, would be that project, because that's where not that I'm trying to make my projects like the, I don't know, Marvel Cinematic Universe or something like that, but it is very much a shared universe of ideas even reoccurring faces and characters or
Yeah.
plots and such. And I think that one is the thesis for the entire thing. Even though maybe even the Shakespeare projects have something to do with what I'm working on right now. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah. I do have another question, like a follow-up. You said that like drawings and doing like comic books was a like kind of like the beginning, and then it grew into something else. Is that why in like projects like Spider Island, in case you haven't seen any of the So I'm Dying on Spider Island videos, it's basically a audio storytelling experience, if you will.
Audio visual poetry collection type thing.
There you go. There you go. That's so much better than what I said. Is that why it's like there's a lot of drawings that do appear in some of them?
Yeah, I've gotten more comfortable with drawing nowadays. Not that I'm the best at drawing, but I like doodling. And there's something more intimate about little doodles than, I don't know, full-on realism drawing piece or painting piece. I mean, not that those can't be intimate, but to me, especially because those maybe I shouldn't mention that, but like little doodles are just like really intimate to me, and
Yeah.
I like doodling. I still like doodling, even though I gave up on wanting to draw for a living. I still do like drawing.
And I think what makes them even more special is that you do them yourself instead of having someone else do them. So what idea and what picture you're trying to present, it all comes from you. So it just adds so much more to it. So, as I've mentioned previously, Tom is definitely the backbone of Unknown Space. Everything Tom and I have created has basically been written, directed, and edited by Tom. And Tom, you and I have talked about periods of like sleepless nights, of brainstorming, putting thoughts and ideas into words, and editing.
That's where the magic happens, yes.
Yeah. You mentioned before you had a certain drive that you kind of don't have anymore, that allowed you to stay up and even like opened up a third eye of creativity. Tell me more about like those sleepless nights and the third eye and that drive.
You know, that's a good question because I never really understood it too much myself. So I would say vague things like my third eye opens, different colors become different colors. I don't know. It's just, I guess maybe I do understand it. It's just in nighttime, I'm stranded by myself. I'm alone with my own thoughts. And so it just allows me to open up my brain a lot more than I would get, I don't know, talking to you right now or talking to really anybody. Creativity creating can be lonely. It's like a lonely, because everything starts off in your head, and that's kind of a solitary like idea. You don't just kind of blurt something out loud and kind of come up with something. It all starts off in your head. So if I'm alone in my room, it's just I'm all in my head. I'm not talking to myself out loud. I'm not saying anything that's off the top of my head. So it's kind of just something just brews in my head at night that wouldn't right now. And in return, like a lot of the things that, like I think you've maybe noticed a lot of the creative decisions we've like moved forward with. Like you might hear me like say like I had a dream about this or whatever.
Yeah.
The night is just inspiration to me. I might dream of something that sounds like a good idea, because it's like if I create things at night and go to bed at night, as I should, I'll usually have a dream about the last thing I was, thinking of, I suppose. And so it'll be, my thoughts just kind of continue in my dreams.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
So it kind of helps like bring that idea to life a little more and bring visuals to it.
Yeah, definitely. I think they definitely go hand in hand with my creating process.
Do you think the time, effort, and that sort of like gauntlet you put yourself through has paid off?
No, but it doesn't need to, because I enjoy doing this as much as I would love. Well, I mean, I guess in that regard, it pays off because I love doing this. I really only gotta make something for myself, and hopefully you like it, because you're usually the one helping me with it. Hopefully, I can only hope I'm reaching out to other people and people are hearing me. But like that would really pay off, having like fans, I suppose, which I wouldn't say I currently have as much. I just kind of have people supporting me, which is fine. But it's not paying off, but it doesn't need to, because I'm still enjoying this. I'm still feeling really good about it. There's a reason why I have 10 ideas in my head right now. There's a reason why we're not done. There's a reason why I still want to, pursue this.
We'll be back with more Anything You Want Me to Be radio, but first we're going to take a quick PSA break.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
In healthcare, misinformation can be as deadly as the most serious disease and spread just as quickly. For years now, myths about childhood immunizations have been spreading on the internet and social media. The physicians of the Illinois State Medical Society urge parents to know the facts and get your child immunized. Immunizations are scientifically proven to be safe and effective, and failure to immunize can harm your children and others. Talk to your child's doctor to get the facts about immunizations.
Welcome back. You're listening to Anything You Want Me to Be radio here on KWDC 93.5 Stockton. You said your creative process kind of comes from, being alone with thoughts, and that's what helps drive everything. And I'd say in general, like, that's what, or at least from my opinion, that's what Unknown Space has kind of been all about, is that those thoughts that you're alone with, that you kind of have to deal with, as well as reaching out. Because we even talked about the reaching out in the last episode of Unknown Space Radio, You're the Fool. And that's what my whole final monologue was about, was hoping that we reached out to someone. And then earlier you also said you started out as being like a film kid, and obviously you and I both know that it's become so much more than just film. Do you think that has helped you grow as well, and do you think that's kind of paid off?
Like originally being a film kid?
Yeah, and then going into more than just that and being more flexible in the things that you create.
Yeah, because it's not like I'm whatchamacallit. I'm not creating, we do create short films. I'm not writing full scripts as I would back in the day, but I needed the love of film to even get to this point, because we are still making film, even though we would rather call it, audiovisual poetry collection type thing, which it is, but it still is film, I think. A film is, it's core to the things I do and the things I want to do. There's a reason why not every episode is of Unknown Space like a radio show. There's a reason why some of them are staged and are more cinematic than others, if you will. There's a reason why some of them have scripts. That's because I like film. And even even the old radio broadcasts where it's maybe the Lone Ranger or the Green Hornet, I think even that gives me inspiration. But I think that's also for the love of film, I suppose. All the things I do, all the things I create is for the love of film. I would just like to redefine it, I suppose. Even though there's never really a definition. I just want to be in a league of my own, I suppose.
You and I have talked about it a little bit, with trying to reach out and maybe one day getting to Adult Swim level of putting our work out. But for you, what are some of your biggest goals, both personally that you want to achieve with Unknown Space, but also end goals, if any, that you want to do with it?
I don't know. That's a good question because I don't know. I've recently really adopted the how do I say, outlook on life where I try not to look forward. I currently try not to have aspirations outside of the present. As much as I'm still gonna put in work to hopefully become something bigger, I don't know what I want it to eventually become. My end goal is probably, again, I would like to reach out to people. I would like to, getting on Adult Swim. That'd be funny. It's cool. We only say Adult Swim because that's kind of they seem to take anything sometimes.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff on Adult Swim that I think we could do better.
Yeah. Sheesh, end goal. Reach out to people. That's all I want, I guess. Obviously there should be some kind of self-fulfillment along the way, which I pray for, because, a lot of what I write is out of some part of me that's not fulfilled with this life. Not that I'm depressed or anything, but it's like, I don't know, weirdest thing I could do right now is probably write something positive, because that'd be super outside of the unknown space meta.
So let's say, I don't know, maybe you find that purpose, you find that fulfillment. Do you think there will ever be a point where you say you're done creating? Or do you think as long as you keep dreaming and keep thinking that there's always going to be more to say and always going to be more to create?
Yeah, there's always going to be more to create, because fulfillment, full fulfillment, I don't think exists. And I don't think I want to live in a world where it does. Where it's possible? Yeah, because, past that, what more is there? I still want to, if I'm old, I still want to be something. I don't want to just kind of rot away.
Do you still see yourself at 60, 70, 80 years old doing stuff like this?
Yeah.
Do you think it gets better when you're that old?
Oh, I hope so. I'll definitely, because, I can only dream of that because when I was younger writing stories and such, they were horrible. And not only because I was young and, didn't know too much about writing, but
in life.
That's it, because I didn't know too much about life. I hadn't experienced that much up to that point. I hadn't experienced a lot of the stuff I'm writing about now. It's you really do need to live to even become a good writer. You have to know a thing or two about this life to even attempt to write about this life.
So you and I have talked about what's coming in the future and what projects we plan on working on. But is there anything you're willing to tease for the audience, or maybe anything that you're willing to tell people that you're working on right now?
I think I've been really inspired by more youthful feelings as of late. So when I said the weirdest thing I could do at this point in time is write something more positive, I'm gonna move into that, and hopefully it's fulfilling. Yeah, that's the weirdest thing I could do right now, is write something positive. And
what are you hoping to kind of gain or maybe learn from taking a step back from all the dark, harsh reality and kind of explore that positive side?
Understanding, I guess, because I as much as I can complain all day about the more negative feelings of life, they're definitely necessary. It's a necessary poison for us as beings to even move forward. It goes hand in hand with the positive things I'll hopefully be writing about. So
yeah,
I don't know, how positive can it be, I suppose, if there's still coexisting factors within the same universe and realm. I'm just hoping to gain understanding, because that's all I could ask for.
So my final question for you is, where can we find all of your work and everything that we've created so far?
It is all on the internet. You could find it on YouTube. We have a website, unknownspace.com, but I think it doesn't have the O and the A. So yeah, Unknown Space without the O and the A. And YouTube, Unknown Space, all caps, period at the end. And Instagram. You could follow us at Unknown Space on Instagram and Twitter.
So I just want to say a couple things before we wrap up this interview. This is kind of like a part of the assignment, but this is also something that I've always like told you before anyways, but I'm very grateful like for the opportunities that you've given me and for you in general, because the things that we've been able to talk about and that I've been able to talk about got me through a lot of stuff that I was going through at the time, especially with Unknown Space Radio, because of the platform that you gave me. And I feel like doing Unknown Space Radio made me such a better person because I was able to resolve a lot of problems. And, you know, even just by talking about them, I was like, hey, this is kind of stupid. Like, why am I feeling this way? You know?
Like a fool.
Or if it was what's up?
No, I just said like a fool.
Yeah. Or there was a genuine problem that I was going through that, you know, just having you to talk to about it helped. And I know there was like, I think it was even like just in the dreams episode, which is like the second or third episode, that you got to resolve. And that just felt really cool that we had that kind of interesting dynamic that we were able to, you know, figure things out.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've told like some friends about this because I don't know, it's weird, our friendship, because you know, when you meet someone, you become their friend, it's like you have casual conversations and such, and then you eventually work into telling them about more deeper stuff. But it was like the opposite for us, where I could tell you like personal stuff, but it felt more nerve-wracking to ask you like, hey yo, what video games you playing or something. Like I felt more comfortable telling you I wanted to die than asking you what you ate for breakfast or something.
Dude, I want to die, but I can't tell you I like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, something like that. Like originally it felt more weird to have casual conversations with you than like you know, kill me conversations.
And I know I've said this a lot of times before, and I said it on the show, but you could have really picked anyone else to do the show with, but you allowed me to like be that person. And so I'm just very grateful for
I ain't gonna lie, you put too much in my like hands, bro. You put too much credit, because it's like, again, I needed someone else to even do all this. And I don't know, grateful it was you, because I don't think not that I knew everyone in the class, but I don't think I could do this with anybody else. I think I needed somebody.
Also just as messed up.
We're two sides of this same coin, you and I.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where it goes hand in hand. So I appreciate it. Appreciate you. What more can I say?
Anything You Want Me to Be Radio Volume 2 has been a production of KWDC 93.5 LPFM Delta College Radio. This program is made possible by listeners like you. Programming is produced by the students, staff, and faculty of San Joaquin Delta College's Radio Television Department. It is supported by the Delta College Department of Arts, Humanities, and Multimedia, the Career Technical Education and Workforce Department Office, and the State of California. Thank you for listening. Now, what do you think of people who only focus on one side of the spectrum?
Good for them. I don't know. I'm only moving into positive because I could, I guess. I'm not trying to corner myself. If there's an author or something that writes just a bunch of sad poetry or something, that's fine. That's them. That's their style.
That's not what you want to be?
Yeah, that's not what I want to be. I want to be anything I want to be. Anything you want me to be. I want to have that variety. There's probably a deeper, more intelligent answer to it that I'm thinking of in the back of my head. But it's like, I don't know. Unknown Space is, I would still consider this like phase 1 of the entire Unknown Space project.
Unknown Space Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. Like, this is very much still maybe phase 2, because I feel like once Spider Island wraps up, then it's gonna be a new era, I suppose. But
Well, there's some stuff that I'm not going to say anything, but there's some stuff that you and I are planning, like that wouldn't fit really with that positive side. If you know what project in particular that I'm talking about.
oh yeah, it's not that like phase 1 and phase 2 are like separated by emotions or anything. Because I'm very much still writing sad stuff. Just they have more positive outlooks and just more positive outcomes, I guess. Phase 2 is just the next era. Like we could, because what we have been working on up till this point has started in 2020. Like once Spider Island is done, we could close that chapter and move on. Hopefully more better stuff, cooler stuff. What more could we ask for?
This is kind of like a few-parter question, but with anything you want me to be radio, you've featured, artists and brands. I guess just a brand so far, but people who are trying to make a name out of themselves as well. Reaching out to them or them reaching out to you, how does that happen? And do you have? And is there kind of like a satisfying feeling for doing those kind of like collaborations?
Definitely, because they usually come about because these are the people I've interviewed so far are people I know, and they're people I admire because they're self-built people. They're not they're not signed with anything major or anything, like me. These are people I admire, and also I really like the stuff they're putting out. Hopefully they like the stuff I'm putting out. It's like, why not share the platform for a episode or two or whatever. Really, when it comes to the satisfying feeling or whatever, it's very much a gratifying process because I like working with people. Like, even though you attribute most of Unknown Space to me, I don't think I could be putting this stuff out if I didn't have, an Alex in my corner. Like, because that's how a lot of the stuff I've ever written has like even been released to the public, has been when I've had people on my side. And it's like, if I'm interviewing someone and it's easier to put out, and it's easier to because it's like, not that they're expecting it to be the greatest interview ever, but they expect it to be something. And once you put expectations on me, well then you can count on me, I think. And hopefully I can count on you. It's really gratifying, really satisfying experience giving someone a platform, because first and foremost I need a platform myself. So if I could put someone on the radio, that's awesome. And they could plug me, that's cool too.
Well, when you do these collaborations, and I personally have always been a fan of your production value, but people who like you do collaborations with, do they typically listen to your work?
Like the interviews?
Yeah,
a lot of them have been I don't want to say fans, but they've been into the stuff I put out, because it's I can't really speak for them. They could absolutely hate my stuff, and they're just kind of like, yeah bro, your stuff's cool by the way, haha. Put me on air. Not really, but I think so. I don't think they absolutely hate my work, but there's some kind of mutual admiration for each other that even makes them want to come on my show. It makes them even want to be interviewed by me. And that's also another satisfying thing that comes from it, because these are, again, people that I admire. I admire their work ethic, their output. So it's like, as much as it does sound like just me giving someone a platform, it is really me just fanboying over this stuff, because I am a fan of these people. I'm really into their work. So it's like, It's like I don't even have to have the mic on. That's awesome that I'm even
have the opportunity to have a conversation with them.
Yeah. And even though most of them are my friends, so or like homies, you know, we were gonna have a conversation anyways. But it's cool, I guess. It's just really satisfying.